Hi everyone, it's Dr. Lalita here. Today's video is all about loving yourself. Now, what do I mean by loving yourself? Well, I've created a campaign called I Love Me, which is teaching you the tools to how to love who you are. Now, I've created that for several reasons, but I'm not going to focus on that in this video. My main focus here today is to break the stigma down of what self-love actually is and to break down what loving yourself isn't. Now, I have so many different views of what I Love Me is all about, and I've had loads of different comments and responses. So thank you all to all of you for taking time out and just giving me feedback, because at the end of the day, I want to help you. I want to make your life the best it can be. So if you're struggling with anything, or if you want to know more about something, I'm always happy to share the tools that I have, because I want you to live the best life ever. Now, I've had a lot of comments where people have said, but loving yourself is selfish. Why would I want to learn to do that? And I'm just like, right, let's break that down. What does that actually mean? So if you're finding that self-love is selfish, there's something going on there with conditioning that you've grown up with, where you feel like self-love is a bad thing or self-love isn't a good thing. Now, before I break down what self-love actually is, I want to give you an example of a coaching client I was working with. Now, she came to me and she said, look, Lalitaa, I want to work on one thing. And that one thing is that I am finding it difficult to say no to people, and I always end up hurting myself in the process of doing too much for other people. So she was very aware of what the issue was, but she didn't know how to change it. And she had tried a few things. So I was like, okay, right, let's get to the root of what's going on. So when we actually did some work together, we went towards the root. We did a bit of inner child work, and we went towards the root of what was going on. And there was a story that kept coming up for her. It was a story that she had given meaning to, that she had given a specific meaning to. And I'm going to share that story with you. So at home, she used to have her cousins, her friends that would come over, and she was told to share all of her toys. They were like, share all your toys. So she used to share all her toys because that's what she was told to do. So she used to do it. And when she used to go to friends' houses or her cousin's house, she specifically remembered that she wasn't allowed to play with all the children's toys, her cousin's toys, her friends' toys. She wasn't allowed to play with all of them. She was told just play with these ones. And because of that, she gave meaning that I have to share all my things, but it's okay for other people not to share their things. So she gave meaning that I'm not worthy enough to be able to play with other people's toys. That's not what perhaps had happened in that situation, but that's a meaning she gave to it. Now, as a result of that, as she continued through her life, she then, for example, went to school and she spoke about stationery. She spoke about her sharing all her favorite pens and not having them back or not getting them back, but yet she wasn't able to share with other people, and other people didn't share their stuff with her. Again, this then fueled into that same feeling of I'm not worthy enough to share my things. And she kept becoming a giver. She was like, I need to make sure that everyone else is okay, because that's what she was always taught to do. Look after everyone else, give your things to everyone else. So this became a theme in her life. It became a theme in her life in terms of like relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, peers, working life, career-wise, all of these different areas of her life. It became the same common theme where she was giving, and then she would get frustrated because she wasn't getting back, or it would keep fulfilling this belief that I'm not good enough. People aren't giving me that back, and that's because I deserve it, because I'm not good enough. So there was this part of her that did not feel worthy enough. Now, this is the part of her that she wanted to change, because she was aware that she was doing it, but she didn't know why. Now, when we started to understand these stories, we gave these stories different meanings once we understood them, where it was coming from. Once we understood them, we gave them different meanings. She was able to then implement and change that in her here and now life, which she started to do. And she started to take time out for herself, do things for herself. And at first she found it very uncomfortable. I remember a specific session with her where she was just like, oh, I can't do it. I can't take time out and have a half an hour bath because I feel really selfish doing it. I feel really bad doing it because it's for me. And I made her do it. I was like, no, you're going to carry on doing it, and you're going to sit through them emotions. You're going to feel them emotions, and you're going to understand what them emotions are communicating to you. And she did it. And I'm so proud of her. To where she is now in her life, and the way that she's just leading her life is just so beautiful to see that transition. Now, the love that she gives to herself is that, and this is what self-love is, and I believe self-love is being compassionate towards yourself, forgiving yourself for things that you've done, but also wanting the change. So you realizing that, okay, look, maybe these things have happened in my life, but I don't want these things to happen. So giving yourself the space and the time to develop, to transform into who you want to be, but accepting yourself for who you are right now. So giving yourself that love by accepting yourself for who you are. Being non-judgmental towards yourself. If things have happened, you've done things, if people around you are saying things, let them. At the end of the day, you are who you are. If you're a beautiful yellow colour and other people are saying, oh, I'm not really sure about that yellow colour that you are, that's their perception. You thank them for sharing their perception, but it's you believing who you are, accepting who you are, not being judgmental towards yourself, not shouting at yourself, not constantly being critical towards yourself, but giving yourself that space to really nurture who you are. If you had a plant, for example, and you wanted to grow and develop and nurture this plant, you're not going to shout criticism at this plant. You're not going to put alcohol in the plant to think that it's going to grow, or to put in fizzy pop into this plant. What you're going to do is you're going to put in the water that it needs. You're going to put in the right nutrients, the plant food that it needs. Give it sunlight. Give it the things that it needs to nurture it. And it's the same with ourselves. In order to love who we are, it's nurturing who we are, giving ourselves the things that we need. And there's different aspects of that, because we have like mind, body, soul, spirit. We have different parts of us. And all these different parts require different needs from us. So it's taking time out to understand what these needs are. It's like with how children are. If you ever have like children, or you know that or you have cousins, or you have family members or friends with children, you know that every child is different. Every child's going to require different attention from you. So one child might be really quiet, another child might be screaming and yelling. And both of them are going to require different levels of love based on their needs. So it's important to understand needs. Same with ourselves. It's so important to understand our needs. And this is why I say self-love is different for everyone, because everyone's at different points in their life and everyone needs something different. So taking that time out for you is not selfish. I want to break this stigma. It's not selfish. Taking time out to do things. And I challenge you to take and do one kind thing for yourself in the day. Now, this one kind thing can just be taking time out for a cup of tea. It can just be taking time out to do some mind-numbing colouring, or to draw, or to say that, right, I'm going to have a bubble bath, and to use some nice oils in your bubble bath. Taking time out is giving yourself space just to feel really relaxed, really at peace with yourself. And like I said, everyone's choices of how they are going to give that love to themselves is going to be different. So having a cup of tea for someone is going to be like, why would I want to do that? That's not helping me in any way. Like, I don't want to do that. Having a bubble bath is going to be like, why would I do that? That doesn't help me relax. That doesn't help me chill out. So again, it's finding what suits you, what feels right for you. Now, if you have any suggestions, put them in the comment box below and start sharing them with people. Let's make this into a community where we can start sharing things with other people, things that work for you, things that don't work for you. Even if it's just like taking the dog for a walk for 10 minutes, that might be something, taking time out for yourself, listening to a podcast, watching or writing, journaling, all these different things. There's so many different things I can throw at you, but every individual is different. So it's finding that right thing for you. Now, if you just type into Google as well, kind things I can do for myself, there'll be a list of things. Share them below, and then we can just start sharing the different things. If you feel like, you know what, I don't really know, and I want more help with understanding what's right for me, comment below and I will respond. I want the best for you. I want to make sure that you're living the best life. I want to make sure that you're loving who you are, that you feel good in your body, that you feel connected with who you are, that you feel like, oh my God, this is a life that I want to live. And you're heading into a direction that you think, you know what, that looks amazing, because you're content, you feel joy. And that all starts with you. It all starts with what's going on within your internal world, understanding and nurturing who you are. Same going back to that plant. That plant can come out, and if it's under the table, for example, and not getting the right sunlight, it's going to grow into a plant that is a little bit perhaps a different color, or it's not given, the leaves might be slightly more crusty. And that's because it's not given what it needs. Now, it's the same with us. If we're not given what we need, we can start presenting with like anxiety, depression, low mood. It's the same with this plant. I'm using a plant analogy, and I'm thinking that it's working right now. And I'm hoping that you get it. And if you don't, that's fine. Think of another analogy and write below. And let's share it with everyone. Like I said, different things work for different people, but I'm very creative and these things sort of work for me. So I'm happy to share these things, but it doesn't work for everyone. On that note, I am going to love you and leave you. Remember to do one, like I said, the challenge that I've given you is to do one kind thing for yourself every day this week. For a week, that's all I ask is for 1 week, do it. Share your responses, share what you're feeling. If it's feeling uncomfortable, share what the uncomfortable feeling is. Why is it that you're feeling this uncomfortable feeling? Where is this coming from? And sit through that uncomfortable feeling, because that's where transformation is happening. Because you've never done it for yourself before, and all of a sudden you're doing it and your mind's like freaking out. Like, what? You're giving yourself time? You don't do this. What's going on for you? Write it down and then come back and let me know what's going on. So on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. I am sending you lots and lots of love, lots of blessings. Have an amazing, amazing day, and I will speak to you all soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Okay, I think we're all done now. And I think it's time for me to just enjoy and have a cup of tea and give myself some time to reflect. Because anything that I do, I will always share with you. Anything that doesn't work for me, I won't share it with you because I preach. No, what's the word? I preach what I do. Is that right? I preach what I do? No, that's not right. I preach what I do. Yeah, that's right. I preach what I do. So I wouldn't share with you what doesn't work for me. No, because that's not in line. It's not generating what I do, so it doesn't work. Anyway, on that note, bye-bye. Bye.